you talked about the 4 levels of communication and how using beyond the tongue, going deeper, can impact your daily communications. Many of people's daily communications are done through writing. Can you transfer that from the tongue, the heart, prana, to writing? And if so, how?
You not only start to speak deep, you also start to think deep. This is now thinking deep. And this thinking deep will automatically happen if your words are deep. So the words are the akrinam, akri salaha. In Japji Guru talks about that. Akrinam, akri salaha. Through the words, you find your essence. You find your presence. Akri nam. Nam means presence. Through the words, you will find your presence. You will find your anchoring. Akri salaha. Then it will come into your communication. It will come into all the projection of yours. Now this depth, by following this, okay, this tool, this is from tantric perspective again. It's both important. Doing and non-doing both are important. So you must have the wisdom of the doing. You must also have the wisdom of non-doing. And this is what we are trying to share with you, the wisdom of non-doing. It does not mean you stop doing. Get this. Very important. The non-doing gives you the wisdom of doing, and the doing gives you the wisdom of non-doing. These are the left and the right, the foot of dharma and the foot of karma. The left foot, foot of karma, right foot of dharma. Left foot represents doing, right foot represents non-doing. Right nostril represents dharma, and left nostril represents dharma, and right nostril representing karma. It changes here. This changes. Okay, it's a deeper tantric science to this. I'm not going to that. So when you use these words and you go deeper and deeper, not only the depth will come in your words, in your communication, the depth will also flower itself in your thinking. The depth will also show itself in your projection. In your projection, in your attire, raftar, guftar, dastar, ahar, vibhar. This depth will show itself in 5 things. Raftar, your walk. The first thing, when this consciousness has bloomed in you, it will first manifest in the cell, through your walk, how you walk. Dharma and karma, how you walk. In India, there's a whole science how to recognize your state of consciousness by looking at the person's walk. Raftar, walk. How does he walk? The Sufis, we have time. I'm just going to keep going. I know we are beyond time, but let's sit. The Sufis, they say when you walk, okay. Now this will be an automatic thing. Once you have found that anchoring, it will show in your walking. But let me just share this kriya with you. It may or may be similar to this, not exactly the way I'm going to tell you. Your eyes, when it looks out, okay, it contributes to the flowering of the world, expansion of the world. The more the eyes looks out, the more consciousness goes out. Okay? So when you look straight, it gives birth to the world. When you look down, it gives birth to awareness. Okay? When your eyes look straight, it gives birth to the world. And when you look down, it gives birth to awareness. the sages of awareness, they say when you walk, always in your walk, your sight should neither be there, neither be here. It should be in between the there and the here. When you're walking, your sight should be able to look at the toes. Right toe is the seed of Brahma creation. That's why you put your forehead at the feet of the master. Where the toe is, if you are enlightened being, if you are a master, where the toe is, exactly that space, okay, is where the known and the unknown manifest. In the feet of the enlightened one. That's why we call the lotus feet. The feet will tell you the state of what is here. You understand? What is here reflects in the feet, because soul is here and souls are there. This is called soul to soul connection. That's why we worship the feet. That's why the feet of the sages are imprinted. If you go to India, where the Guru sat, they worship that space. Because the feet of the awakened one touch that. That's where the known and the unknown. And let me dive deeper. Right toe, where the unknown becomes known. And this is, my friend, where we call Agni, the fire of totality. Call Agni, the fire of time and space, the fire that burns time and space. You know, your death, when it happens, it initiates in the navel, but the fire that will totally dissolve, burn all your impressions so that the consciousness can release itself from the frame, from the web of body and mind. That fire starts on the right toe. It's called the Kal Agni. Shiva gave 112 meditations to his beloved wife, and one was this meditation. If we have time, we will do that. Manifesting the fire of total dissolving, the fire that dissolves creation. It's in the toe, right toe. And the left toe, right toe Brahma, left toe Vishnu, preservation. You know, you're creating, you're preserving, God, generating, organizing, Brahma, destroying. All these are specific points in the body, and more than one spaces. This is very deep, total. This is called Nyasa. It's called Nyasa. This is, again, this is Tantra now. It's total Tantra, Tantric tissue. So now, this toe here, this is where the fire sits. When death happens, the first place your consciousness, your awareness dissolves. You know, as you die, parts of the body start moving. Before the mind stops, the body stops moving. There are certain parts of the body where death, consciousness, death swallows it. And the first part of the body where the consciousness starts to invomb itself back, okay, pull itself, pluck itself back, okay, draw itself back. The first point in the body is the toe, the right toe, the feet of Dharma. The Sufis, they say, as you walk, both your toes must be visible. You are neither there, you are neither here. You are neither in the world, because if you are in the world, this is lost. And if you are here, the world is lost. But you need to be in both the worlds, so finding in between. And that's why you see old pictures of Guru Nanak, his eyes are half closed. Half inside, half outside. Not fully inside. Not fully outside. Outside is world, inside is awareness. But awareness and the world must be together. Karta Purkh. You must have that knowledge that this is my modulation. I don't need to run away from it. I can change it once I know myself. So the first thing that will show the symptoms, okay, of this depth that you experience is in your raftar, in the way you walk. You recognize a sage from the way he walks. Raftar. Number 2, Guftar. Words. Words of the sage. Communication. The words he's using. What are the words? Are they first chakra? Are they second chakra? Are they from third chakra? Are they from fourth chakra? And I can go on and on and on. From which chakra the words are coming from? The tone. This is the second. It will reveal itself as you fall in love, as you know yourself, as the consciousness will. These are the symptoms of awakening. Raftar, Guftar. Guftar. Number 2. Number 3, Dastar. Your attire. Your attire will show. And that's why in all the spiritual traditions, it is recommended you wear in a certain way. Because your attire, what you wear, how you wear, what you wear, it directs your emotions. In the words of Yogi Bhajan, when you wear white, 6, 7 foot, your aura expands. So what you wear, how you wear, all these things are conscious. You're conscious of everything. In the realm of time and space, how to behave, or how to. It's not an effort thing anymore, It's not that somebody is telling you to do it. It has become your own personal truth now. You are directing yourself. So that is the third one. Guftar, Raftar, Guftar, Dastar, Ahar. Your food. Your food. How much you eat. What you eat. When you eat, does it affect others? So your diet changes. Not because somebody told you. Not because he says you should do it like that. It becomes your personal experience. Compassion comes. You can't kill an animal and eat an animal anymore because it's you. You can't even pluck the flower. It's a story in the Guru's life. Guru Har Gobind, his son Guru Har Rai, he was so small. His robe was very big robe. He used to walk. And one day he was walking in the garden. I hope you guys are with me. Okay? Walking in the garden. And then the wind blew. And the wind blew. And the robe got stuck in the roses, in the petals. And as he plucked, the petals fell onto the floor. And he was 7 years old, Guru Har Rai. He started to sit and cry. And the Guru said, what happened? He said, they have been hurt. Because they see consciousness in everything. And the Guru said, you knew they were hurt? He said, yes, they were hurt. They fell. The petals broke. They fell onto the floor. They died. They disappeared. They were supposed to bloom. They were supposed to give the fragrance. They were incomplete because of me. What have happened? Look at that depth of existence, that depth of life. Compassion. Yeah. It's not about talking about love. It's not about talking about compassion. It becomes a living experience. Guru said, if your robe is big, hold it always and walk. What it means, if your consciousness, if your awareness have expanded to such an extent that everything creates an effect in you, everything creates an imprint on you, then always hold your awareness. Become aware all the time. Don't do anything in unawareness. Guru said, hold your robe and then walk. And then Guru Har Rai was 7 years old. And for the rest of his life, every time when he took this step, he held his robe. Whole life, he used to walk by holding his robe so that it will not touch anything. We may not experience consciousness to that depth. But my friends, what I'm saying here is, as you dive deeper and deeper, these are the symptoms of devotion. These are the symptoms you have become alive. These are the symptoms that you have begun to give a fragrance. This is the symptom that you have bloomed. This is the symptoms that you are reflecting light. Okay, the last one. Raftar, Guftar, Dastar, Ahar, and Vivhar. How you deal with people. How you deal with people. How easily you forgive. How easily you deal with your situations. How you deal with people who are related to that situation. How soon you can. One of the symptoms of an enlightened being is forgiveness and forgetting. If you cannot forget, if you have not yet learned to forget, you can be the most perfect, Kriya practitioner. You would have, whatever you've done, you have not attained even a bit. My friends, through the grace of the Guru, this is unexplained grace. How you deal with people, how easily you forget and how easily you forgive, that decides. Because when you don't forgive, those impressions stay in the body. They create a memory. It's called the muscle memory. And then it turns into biomemory. And this is known as the samskaras and vasanas. And samskaras and vasanas tie you down to time and space. When you cannot escape the time and space, it creates an intersection. Your vasanas and your samskaras, it ties you in the realm of time. For example, listen. 2 years ago, you did something, or you did something knowingly, you hurt someone, or whatever happened, somebody hurt you, whatever that is, we're not going in detail. And because you're holding on to it, what is it? You are tied down in that time and space 2 years ago. You kept moving, but a part of you was tied down there. The more far away you go from it, the harder it is to unlock this bind. This is called kal, K-A-L, kal. The intersection of time and space, samskaras and vasanas. So muscle memory and bio memory. When you hold it, it goes into your bio. So the further away you go from it, the more strong it becomes, the more difficult it is to change. So the faster you forgive and the faster you forget. And how to forget? Some of the ways to forget from the tantric tradition, we call it kriyas. See all this now making sense? Kriyas. When you move your body in a certain way that you have never moved, a certain knot is opened. When you chant the mantra in a certain way, it's perfect anad, then a certain knot is open. But even while these knots and all these desires and all these emotions were totally, you were indulged, you were tied in them, despite this, your consciousness was always pure. It was not affected. You get that? That's what we are talking about. But so it's both ways. Your left foot and your... Now, this is known as the right hand and the left hand. Those of you who know the left hand path and the right hand path. Although I know this is translated differently, and sometimes they are translated in a total different way. This is the left hand path and the right hand path. So left hand path is Tantra, and right hand path is the path of Sutra, the path of Vedanta. Now both the left and the right hand, if they come together, what happens? End of story. No more here, no more here. You are right in the center. Shushmana. Left and the right nostril automatically unites. And when this unites, your left and the right hemisphere both become balanced, equal. Now only one is working. You're only in one side. And they become, this is called sama. This is called samadhi. Samadhi. Just with the holding of the breath, you can hold and become aware. So this is the alignment of the left hand path and the right hand path. Shushmana opens, Kundalini awaken, and then when you reach there, in the words of Rumi, he said, whole life I knocked the door of God. Listen to this. Almost we are done. Last a few moments. I knocked the door of God. I kept knocking. And I thought he will never open. And then one day the door opened. And I realized that it was only a door. There were no walls. God's house has no walls. It has only doors. There's no separation. You can stand in front of the door, keep knocking. But if you become conscious, there's no wall here. There's no wall here. I can just turn and go. This is the path of Sutra, the path of Vedanta. In the path of Tantra, we keep knocking. And then one day it is open. We also end up in the same space where Sutra will end. But if you have the wisdom of both, you can keep knocking and then you think, okay, I heard this Yogi Amandeep says if you keep knocking, it is only as door, it has don't have wall. So let me just check it out. You open your eyes and you check it out, and there are no walls, and you can just walk on the other side. Simple, beautiful. So blessings to all of you.